Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole for refusing to let my family meet my daughter after all of them dropped out my wedding upon finding out my wife was pregnant? I come from a conservative Christian family. All my family members are involved in the church and have church-based jobs. When they met my wife, they loved her and embraced her as their own. We dated for 2 years and discovered she was pregnant after we got engaged. Invitations were already given at the time, and we decided to still have the wedding on date when my wife was 5 months in. My family were furious when they found out my wife was pregnant. They asked if we even still considered having a wedding. I said why not, but they were very upset, especially mom and dad, who said they've always been known for their decency and good Christian values and weren't willing to let this stain their reputation. As in my wife and I getting married while pregnant. They officially dropped out and refused to negotiate, saying it was done and I have only myself to blame for this outcome and should move the wedding out of town. I was hurt. I tried to change their minds and checked with other members, but my brother said he had no intentions to look like a joke in front of his fellow church members and dropped out. My aunt pretended to be sick and said she may not be able to make it. She's 100% healthy. My cousin said he had business trip and stopped his wife and kids from attending, and my uncle cussed me out, torn the invitation and kicked me out. I felt terrible with no family members of my own to support me and share my joy at my wedding. I even broke down crying after the ceremony. I haven't spoken to them for months and then got busy with my 4-week-old daughter. My cousin reached out to hand me gifts and well wishes for the birth of my daughter sent from my family. I returned everything. He sat with me on behalf of the family, saying I shouldn't have returned gifts that were from my family who want to see and hopefully be involved in my daughter's life. He said Mom's longing to meet her grandbaby and everyone else is wanting to visit soon to celebrate my daughter's life. I asked him this question. I said, wasn't my daughter the reason why the entire lot of them abandoned my wedding? He just stared grudgingly as I went on about how they treated my daughter as something to be ashamed of and hide. My daughter at some point will ask about the wedding and I have no intentions on lying to her. He replied saying he guaranteed I got it all wrong and no matter what goes down between us I can never deny that my daughter is their granddaughter/niece/ etc. and they're her family. He asked that I arrange for them to visit but I refused. He kept pressing the idea but I shut him down. My wife says I should let them come but I still refused.
A response to the post.
Not the asshole. Let your family know that like a good Christian, you are willing to forgive, but they have sinned against you and God. Jesus' highest teaching after loving God is to love everyone as He loves us, including sinners, non-believers, and enemies. Their actions toward you were not about love, but ego and pride. They were more worried about what others might think than simply loving you and your family. Jesus also taught not to judge others. That is the whole point of let he who has no sin cast the first stone. They certainly cast that stone. Let them know that you feel that you have done your work to be good with God and have nothing to apologize to them for. Have they? Until they come to you with a genuine apology that admits exactly how they wronged you and sinned against you and your wife, keep them away. Edits. In italics, fixed fat fingering and autocorrect mistakes.
Peace response to this comment.
Indeed, despite what they've done, I haven't changed my views about my religion as a Christian myself. I know that it was more about their reputation and name than anything else, really.
A response to the post.
Not the asshole. Keep them away from your daughter. You're right, they are toxic. My friend has a similar thing happen, but let the family back into his life. He found out years later that the family would pull his daughter aside from when she was about 4 up until she was about 12 or 13 to tell her she was a bastard and a sinner. Awful stuff. He immediately cut off his family again when he found out, but it really fucked his daughter up for a while until he got her therapy.
A response to this comment.
My husband's grandma used to do that. She told him he was going to hell for what his mom did. Unsurprisingly, he's an atheist who doesn't let great-grandma have unsupervised time with our girls on the rare family things we attend. One of the rare blessings of COVID is having a handy excuse to avoid his family.
A response to the post.
I personally think that they reap what they sow, plain and simple. They ditched you as family because of your daughter. Now you need to protect her from them. What if they pull this on her? What if she does something they don't like or they consider a stain on their reputation? No, they do not deserve to meet her. They ended that relationship themselves, not you. Good riddance to bad rubbish. I have in-laws who use religion to try to control and shame and judge me. I've walked away and am so much happier not being around any of them, so I know where you are coming from.
A response to this comment.
I know. They were willing to throw Op and his wife to the wolves for their so-called mistake of sex before marriage. Imagine how they'd apply that toxic mindset to his daughter. Not to mention how they might weaponize his mistakes against him using his daughter. I could very easily see them telling her, don't grow up to be like your father. You have to be pure if you want to be a part of this family.
A response to the post.
Not the asshole. Actions have consequences. They chose their church facade over being supportive family members. They ruined the relationship. Now that there is a physical adorable baby they want to play with her. Nah, fam. You're still hurt. You have to give yourself time to heal, then decide if you want to rebuild a relationship with your family. Congrats on your little one and marriage.
A response to this comment.
My guess is the initial embarrassment was that you were having a baby out of wedlock. Now they're embarrassed that they don't have a relationship with their grandbaby. Seems like they're all about image, and they want people to think they have a perfect, happy family. Not the asshole.